Welcome to HD Coins world, where ordinary coins turn into unbelievable treasure. What if the nickel in your pocket was worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Today, we reveal 7 rare Monticello Jefferson Nickels that shocked collectors with record-breaking auction prices. Each one looks simple, but hides a secret, a mint mark, a rare strike, or a flawless detail that changes everything. Stay till the end, because the final nickel sold for a price you will not believe. Number 1. Imagine holding a coin that was created during one of the darkest and most powerful moments in American history. The year was 1943, and every ounce of copper was being used to build weapons, communication wires, and war machinery for World War II. To save copper, the United States Mint made a bold decision that changed the Jefferson nickel forever. Instead of copper, they used a special wartime alloy, 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This gave birth to the famous 1943 P. Jefferson nickel, known as the War Nickel, easily recognized by the large P mint mark placed above the Monticello building on the reverse side. It was the first time in American history that the letter P appeared on any United States coin. The 1943 P nickel carries deep historical value because it represents America's sacrifice during war and innovation during crisis. Many of these nickels were melted after the war, and very few survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors treasure these pieces not only for their silver content but also for their connection to a remarkable chapter in American history. Now, here comes the exciting part. In recent years, collectors have paid unbelievable prices for the finest known examples at a professional coin auction. One superb gem graded MS68 by PCGS sold for an astonishing $30,500. Yes, over $30,000 for a single nickel. That record-breaking sale shocked the entire numismatic community and proved that even a 5-cent coin can turn into a small fortune. So, if you ever find a 1943 Jefferson nickel, look carefully above the Monticello building for that bold letter P. If your coin still shines with full luster and has no visible wear, you could be holding a piece of World War II history, and maybe, just maybe, the next record-breaking treasure. Number 2. The year was 1964, a time when the United States Mint was working harder than ever to meet the country's massive coin demand. Billions of Jefferson nickels were struck that year, but only a few became truly legendary among collectors. And one of them is the 1964 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that hides its rarity in plain sight. Most people think every 1964 nickel is common, but that is not entirely true. Because of overproduction and heavy circulation, high-grade coins with perfect details are incredibly hard to find. Many were struck from worn-out dies, causing weak steps on Monticello and poor definition. But a few flawless pieces exist, and they are worth a fortune today. Collectors hunt for examples with what is known as the full steps designation, where every step on the Monticello building is perfectly visible. These coins are not just ordinary nickels. They are masterpieces of minting precision. Finding one with sharp detail, brilliant luster, and no contact marks is almost impossible, which makes them extremely valuable. Now here comes the part that every collector loves. The auction record. In a professional coin auction, a pristine 1964 D Jefferson nickel graded MS66 with full steps sold for a staggering $32,900. That is right. Over $32,000 for a 5-cent coin that most people would overlook in their change. This sale shocked the coin collecting world and made the 1964 D one of the most desirable nickels in the entire Jefferson series. So, if you have a 1964 Jefferson nickel with the tiny letter D on the reverse, look closely at the steps on Monticello. If they are crisp, bold, and fully struck, you might be looking at one of the rarest and most valuable modern nickels ever made. Keep it safe, because that little coin could be your unexpected treasure. Number 3. The year was 1975, and the United States Mint in Denver struck millions of Jefferson nickels for circulation. At first glance, the 1975 D might look like an ordinary nickel, but behind that small letter D hides one of the most mysterious and sought-after coins of the decade. Collectors soon discovered that a small number of these nickels carried unusual die errors and exceptional sharpness, making them true hidden treasures. Most nickels from this year show weak strikes, soft lettering, or dull surfaces, but a few were minted with almost perfect clarity and strong steps on Monticello. Finding one in pristine, untouched condition is like finding a silver needle in a haystack. These coins rarely appear in uncirculated rolls, and when they do, collectors rush to grab them instantly. Among the rarest are those graded full steps, showing every single line on the Monticello staircase with razor-sharp detail. These are the elite few that attract professional collectors and auction houses around the world. Because so few exist, each one discovered becomes an instant highlight in any collection. And now, the moment of truth. The highest verified auction price, a superb 1975 Jefferson Nickel graded MS-66 with full steps by PCGS, sold for an incredible $4,600 at auction. Yes, a coin that most people would spend without thinking once was sold for over $4,000 to a passionate collector. That sale proved that even modern-era nickels can reach astonishing values when perfection meets rarity. So, if you find a 1975 Jefferson nickel with a small D mint mark on the reverse, take a closer look under good light. Examine the Monticello steps carefully, and if every step is bold and complete, you might be holding one of the most valuable nickels from the 1970s. Keep it safe, because you never know. Your 5-cent coin could be worth thousands. Number 4. The year was 1985, and the Denver Mint was producing millions of Jefferson nickels for everyday use. At first, it seemed like another common year in coinage history. But as time passed, collectors began to notice something extraordinary about certain 1985 D nickels. A few rare examples showed remarkable strike quality, perfect luster, and strong steps on Monticello, making them stand out from all others. Most 1985 D nickels were struck quickly and carelessly, leaving soft details and worn lettering, but once in a while, the mint produced a flawless specimen that survived the decades without a single scratch. Finding one in such perfect condition is nearly impossible today, which is exactly why collectors pay big money for them. The most desirable pieces are those graded full steps, where every line on Monticello's staircase is crisp, sharp, and unbroken. These coins reveal the absolute precision of the minting process and showcase what a perfect strike really looks like. They are not just coins, they are miniature works of art frozen in metal. And here is the thrilling part that every coin hunter waits for: the record auction price. A magnificent 1985 D Jefferson nickel graded MS-66 with full steps by PCGS reached a stunning $1,440 at auction. That is right, a coin that most people would overlook in their change sold for more than $1,400. This sale reminded collectors everywhere that modern nickels can still deliver exciting surprises and serious profits. So, the next time you check your pocket change, look carefully for the 1985 Jefferson nickel with the small letter D on the reverse. Examine the steps on Monticello closely, and if every step is clear and complete, you might have found a modern treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Keep it protected, because that little 5-cent coin could be your next big discovery. Number 5. The year 1990 brought a brand new decade, and along with it, a nickel that would quietly become one of the rarest modern treasures ever struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel looks completely ordinary, just another coin in your pocket change. But beneath that simple shine lies a secret, a few extraordinary examples that stun the coin collecting world. You see, most nickels from this year suffered from weak strikes and surface marks, caused by worn dies and heavy circulation. Yet, a handful were preserved in perfect condition, showcasing the sharpest details of Jefferson's portrait and the finest steps of Monticello. Collectors call these rare beauties full steps nickels, and they are incredibly difficult to find, especially from the Philadelphia Mint in 1990. Over the years, collectors have searched through millions of rolls hoping to find one flawless example. Even a small nick or scratch can destroy the full steps designation, making truly perfect coins nearly impossible to locate. That is exactly why this nickel has become a modern legend among Jefferson collectors. And now, for the most exciting part, the record-breaking auction price that shocked everyone. A breathtaking 1990p Jefferson nickel-graded MS-66 full steps by PCGS sold for an astonishing $1,850 at a major coin auction. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin turned into nearly $2,000. Of collector gold, it is proof that even coins from the late 20th century can still hold remarkable hidden value. So, the next time you see a 1990 nickel with the letter P on the reverse, take a closer look at those steps on Monticello. If you can count every line cleanly and clearly, you might be holding a rare gem that could transform your spare change into a serious collector's prize. Keep it safe, keep it graded. And you might one day join the ranks of collectors who discovered fortune in an everyday coin. Number 6. The year was 1985, and the Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of Jefferson Nickels, coins that seemed ordinary. Yet some hid a mystery that few collectors ever noticed. Among the countless nickels struck that year, a small number stood out as true marvels of minting perfection. These rare examples feature crisp details, full luster, and an almost flawless strike that captures every line of Jefferson's portrait and every step on Monticello. But perfection is never common, and that is exactly what makes the 1985p nickel such a thrilling discovery for collectors. Most nickels from this year show weak details and dull surfaces due to worn dies and high-speed production. Yet, those very few coins that survived in untouched mint state condition became hidden treasures worth serious money. Collectors often search for what is called a full steps designation, meaning the Monticello building on the reverse shows all its steps clearly, without any breaks or flattening. Finding a 1985p nickel with full steps is extremely difficult, and that challenge drives both excitement and high value. Every collector dreams of discovering one in their pocket change or an old coin jar, and when such perfection does appear, the results are spectacular. At auction, a stunning 1985p Jefferson nickel-graded MS-66 full steps by PCGS sold for an incredible $1,320. Yes, this single nickel, once worth only 5 cents, fetched over $1,000 because of its pristine beauty and rarity. It is proof that not all treasure is gold. Sometimes it is nickel and copper shining from the past. So, if you ever come across a 1985 nickel with the letter P on the reverse, take a careful look under a magnifier. Check those steps, study the shine, and if it looks flawless, do not spend it, protect it. Because it might just be one of the rarest survivors of its kind. The 1985p Jefferson nickel reminds us that true value hides in the smallest details, waiting for the sharp eyes of a collector to uncover it. Number 7. The year 1987 marked another chapter in the long history of the Jefferson nickel, and from the Denver Mint came one of the most fascinating modern rarities ever discovered. At first sight, the 1987D nickel looks completely normal. But behind that simple surface lies a story of precision, survival, and incredible value. Because while millions were struck, only a tiny fraction were made with the absolute sharpness and perfection collectors crave. The Denver Mint was known for strong strikes, but even then, most coins suffered from bag marks and wear before they ever left the mint. That is why finding a 1987D Jefferson nickel in pristine condition is such a thrilling experience for collectors today. And among these rare survivors, the most desirable are those that display the legendary full steps on Monticello, crisp, clean, and unbroken from top to bottom. Collectors hunt tirelessly for these full steps nickels because they represent the absolute best quality the mint could produce. They are symbols of craftsmanship and luck, combining rarity and condition into one perfect coin. Every time one surfaces at auction, the excitement across the collecting community surges to new heights. And here comes the most electrifying moment, the record-breaking sale that stunned everyone. A magnificent 1987D Jefferson nickel-graded MS-67 full steps by PCGS sold for an astonishing $1,200 at auction. That is right, a 5-cent coin turning into over $1,000 simply because it was struck perfectly and preserved through time. It stands as proof that even modern coins can hold extraordinary value when quality meets rarity. So, if you ever come across a 1987 nickel with a bold D mint mark on the reverse, do not overlook it. Examine those steps on Monticello carefully. If they are clear and complete, you might be holding one of the finest examples ever struck by the Denver Mint. Keep it safe, have it graded, and you could be the next collector to uncover a small piece of American minting perfection. These 7 nickels prove that real treasure still hides in everyday change, from the wartime silver 1943p to the perfect 1987D. Each coin tells a story of luck, rarity, and fortune. Check your nickels. You might be holding the next $1,000 discovery. Subscribe to HD Coins World, like this video, and comment if you have one of these rare nickels. Your coin could be the next star of our channel. Remember, every coin has a secret, and every collector is one discovery away from a fortune.